Okay, thank you. So actually Leviathan is a peer-to-peer network formed from the ordinary users, but the original idea is that it was intended for specifically media distributors, specifically for news distributors and high quality niche artists. So these two use cases came from some stories that our investors and encounter. So one story comes from when someone, let's say, buys some CD of his loved artist, which the CD was produced by some big recording studio. So he pays $20 for this disc and thinks that he does good job buying CD from of artists, so he can be reimbursed for that. But it turns out that this recording studio just pays $2 to this artist and keeps another $18 to him. And later he decides to use this $80 for promoting some other pop artist. The other use case is that there is no good platform for individual reporters who can put their reports there and got directly donated or reimbursed by the users, by the people who want to listen objective information, not do aggregation of some information from Russian, European and American TV. So that's why we started to build this software. So the idea is, so let's the idea is that people install Leviathan software on their computers. They donate some hardware resources to Leviathan software. For example, I have in my computer some storage always pairing for some gigabytes. I can donate it to Leviathan. So, and with these donations of hardware resources will be formed community storage, so other people who want have more files to keep or want their files to be available all the time can store their files in Leviathan, so thus not putting their files in big corporations like Google Drive, Dropbox, and also there is an idea to integrate payment mechanism with this, and if you store files in Leviathan and that files eventually landed to some peers, so you must give some credits to these people, and vice versa. If you store other people's files, so you should receive some credits from them. Okay, now for now, currently this the software is ongoing to be developed. So at this state we have so we can connect Leviathan computers to each other to form a big storage and can store files there, but the payment mechanism is not integrated yet. Actually, talking about Leviathan idea with Armenian local community, we have suggested to build two applications based on Leviathan. One comes from one of Armenian biggest telecommunication companies. So he decided to give some drive services to its users. So some sort of local Google Drive and Dropbox for Armenia, but that drive will be based on Leviathan software. So, and instead of putting a lot of servers, so the files are going to be distributed among just ordinary computers they have in their office, or already have in their offices, in user set-top box storages and so on. Another project that we are currently involved is making the mesh network for educational laboratories for school children. So this laboratory is a robotics and engineering laboratory. So the idea is to have do-it-yourself educational 3D printers, CNC machines, UAVs, etc. So we open a laboratory in a school, giving the children, let's say, one 3D printer and one CNC machine, and they start learning it and producing more 3D printers and CNC machines, UAVs and so on. And with their help, they open another laboratory in the neighbor village, and this way, these laboratories are going to spread in all of the Armenian villages. Also the children store their projects, communicate about their projects, their ideas with each other through mesh network, using the Leviathan's database for it. So this project is ongoing. We started to build that mesh network between the children's laboratories in this area of Armenia, and are going to expand it through the whole of Armenia. So. Okay, so by the way, this is the map of Armenia. I guess a lot of some people don't know where it is located. So, okay, that's it. If you have questions or want to have more details about it, we can discuss. Yes.
So, from what I understand, at the moment it supports the content distribution and storage. It's some way, or there is ways to share the content in a protected way. For example, if it's content that is not socially acceptable for the context, there is way to protect the anonymity of the one who share the content and the one who store it, and it's like that by default or not?
Okay, so by default, all the information that you store in Leviathan and goes to other people's computer, by default it is encrypted. So the algorithm now encrypts the file, cuts it into several pieces, and distributes among other computers via some load balancing algorithm. So that way only your devices which have the private key can decrypt it back. But also you have option to just save public information without encrypting. So in that case, everyone can query and just see that information.
And when you download a chunk of data from a peer, it's maybe a random peer, or because I expect someone that some way get the key to access that file could track who is actually storing the file, or at least the chunk, or not.
Actually, no, it cannot track. While it's we just encrypt, we just generate some IS key for each file. Then encrypt this IS key with your public key and encrypt the whole data, the file, split it into smaller pieces, then already encrypted, and there is a one master file which keeps the IDs of the chunks, and this is also encrypted. So there is no way to track just which. Then you have, when you see your local storage, you cannot actually figure out which file and which chunk of which file.
So we are waiting for the last candidate to have a lightning talk. Other than that, we will do a roundup for the next year's iteration and the candidates that we have so far in 15 minutes, which concludes the official BattleMesh program for this year.